At 8:15 in the morning on July 20, Viking Europe arrived in Tournus to disembark the passengers participating in the optional tour to Cluny, and that included Ove and I. Tournus is located on the right bank of the Sound River, 20 kilometers northeast of Macon. Tournus was the birthplace of Jean-Baptiste Grousset. These two paintings are my favorites: The White Hat and The Guitarist. Dominating the skyline of Tournus are the towers of the Church of Saint Philibert in an early 11th century Burgundian Romanesque style. By 8:30 in the morning, we were all comfortably seated in the bus that would take us on a scenic ride through the Burgundy area and visit of the Cluny Abbey. Let's enjoy the pictures of the beautiful countryside captured during our ride to Cluny. This is a French laundry room used by villagers for several centuries to wash their clothes. Many of these laundry rooms date back to the 10th century. These rooms were erected in the center of the village when possible. So we made it to Cluny, and peeking over the rooftops are the Holy Water Bell Tower on the left and the Frey Tower on the right. Founded in 910, the Abbey at Cluny was the center of a monastic reform movement that would spread throughout Europe. The abbey was built on a forested hunting preserve, donated by William I the Pious.
There you go!
The Abbey of Cluny was the center of a major monastic movement in the Middle Ages. Its church was the largest Christian building in the world until St. Peter's Basilica was rebuilt in Rome in the 16th century. Here is the site of the former Cluny Abbey Church, 1088–1130, of which only the south transept survives. In view the south transept topped with a beautiful holy water belfry. This is what used to be the huge antechurch or porch, 1130–1190, where the foundations of pillars can be seen. The sloped roof stone building is one of the two surviving bases of the great west towers, the Barabans. The abbey at Cluny was founded by Benedictine monks who wished to observe closer adherence to the Benedictine rule. One distinction was their commitment to offer perpetual prayer, emphasizing liturgy and spiritual pursuits over labor and other monastic activities. Financed by kings for centuries, it was the largest church in Christendom. In the early 12th century, however, the order began to lose momentum under poor government. Cluny reached its last days of power and influence under Peter the Venerable in 1156. A capital from the great church. The sacrifice of Isaac. The daisy lintel. The Galilee passageway. The best view in the house of the surviving south transept of Cluny Abbey, 1088–1130, is from the small courtyard of the congregation on its west side. The church was so monumental that each transept had two towers. The beautiful octagonal one is called the Holy Water Belfry. On the left is the outer wall of a side aisle. On the right is the 18th century chapel of the congregation, which replaced the Romanesque abbot's chapel. By the time of the French Revolution, the monks of Cluny were so thoroughly identified with the ancient regime that the order was suppressed in France, and the monastery at Cluny was partly demolished. The abbey was sold as national property and was used as a stone quarry. It was systematically dismantled until 1823. Even from this small part, one can see that the sense of space and light at Cluny Abbey was much greater than other Romanesque churches. In front is the closed-in north side of the transept, which originally opened into the nave. The vault of the great south transept, looking into the cupola of the octagonal holy water belfry. Entrance to the Jean de Bourbon Chapel, named after the abbot who had it built around 1460, at the very end of the small transept, in flamboyant Gothic style. This burial chapel includes an oratory fitted with a fireplace, providing Jean de Bourbon with a certain degree of comfort. Canforth's contemporary work, Horseshoes, on display in the cloisters. This elegant pavilion was built as monastic cloisters in the 18th century. The gardens once contained an ancient lime tree destroyed by a 1982 storm, named after Abelard, the controversial French philosopher who sheltered at the abbey in 1142. The 18th century monastery buildings form a U-shape around the garden. Decorative items such as wrought iron balustrading on the balconies and rocaille patterns on the window lintels added a degree of sophistication. The 13th century building was probably first used as a workshop. It then served to store food, with a vaulted cellar on the lower level and a flower store upstairs. This impressive room is now used as a museum, displaying artifacts and models of Cluny Abbey. The beautiful oak and chestnut timber roof is original, 1275, needing only very light restoration in the early 20th century. Following are black and white photographs displayed on the courtyard by the mill tower. The Fabry Tower in the background. Looking for a late morning snack? The charming local farmers market offered something for every palate. In the background, the cheese tower. The National Horse Breeding Center, founded in 1806 by Napoleon and constructed with materials from the destroyed abbey. Then it was time to take the tour bus for the ride to Chalon, where Viking Europe was waiting for us. Let's enjoy pictures of the lovely landscape that Burgundy has to offer. Château de Cercy dates from the 12th century and is located in the village of Cercy, just 10 miles from Tournus.